Like, I'll show you what like Crisis City usually looks like. Because like you've probably been here for Crisis City. Like if you're new. So instead of using this rock to teleport, you still teleport. But you do it out with this ball. You know, I'm gonna make this a impromptu explain like I'm 5 teleport edition. Because this is the linchpin trick in most, if not all, everything except for aquatic base of Silver's levels. Learn to love this trick. It is very essential to the run. And you can do it out of pretty much any object that you can lift and stand at a very steep sideways angle. Now, first of all, what do I mean by steep? When I say steep, like this is pretty shallow. Don't stand like this. You're straight up and down. This is bad. This is a bit better. You're kind of tilted. You're looking very uphill. And this is probably where you want to be. The steeper your angle, the more height you're going to get from each telethrow. So try and have a very steep angle. Makes a couple other things easier too. So I wish I had my input display on for this, but it's on 360, so whatever. These balls are probably the easiest way to try telethrow. So when you press the right trigger, you lift the object that you're standing on. So what you do, step 1, you lift and hold forward. Step 2, while you are holding forward, press the X button to throw the object. And step 3, which I didn't really make obvious, after you press X, keep holding up, just for a little bit. On the smaller objects, you don't want to move that much, but so you want to cut that down as much as possible, but you have to hold at least a little bit up after you press X. Now notice that balls are really easy because you can hold up a lot and you can't slide off, really. Let's start that again. Actually, at the beginning of the stage, hover. Hovering is just a little bit faster than running. You're going to take this rock, wait to your max jump height, and tap hover. Tap hover gives you more distance at the sacrifice of speed. So, if you think you're not going to make it and you don't have that much resources, tap hovering is probably the way to go. So, what I do to set this up and a lot of other things where you have to jump on an object to telethrow, if I jump, so only hold forward on the way down. That way I'm kind of above where I want to be. And I don't move that much forward, but I can hop over in this case, the middle of the ball. But don't worry, you can just kind of jump on it and walk down. What you can also do on many objects is if you hold the X button to charge a Sun Slap, you can pivot in place, and it will not affect the object you're standing on. Do not be afraid to do this. It moves you nowhere, and it rotates you perfectly. So where you're aiming for, generally, and you want to turn in that direction, is to the left, just to the left of the broken tall building column that's covered by on the right side of the pause menu. So we're going to hold forward. Do one. Now notice I'm making a direct collision course. What I'm going to do is hold right trigger to lift. And as long as you have enough resources, recenter your camera and teleport upwards again, like I just described. So realistically, you want to be facing this way. You want to be facing to the left of that giant broken building part. Also, another thing, wait until you can't lift any higher. This is a beginner thing. You will begin to notice which ones you have to height cap, which is what I'm calling this, or not height cap. But if you want to play it safe, you're not sure, or you're just new and trying to get the trick, height cap. And then press X, hold forward a little bit. And if you see that silver medal just to my right, now another thing, getting off. While an object is going that fast, you can't really jump off it, except if it like breaks or something, or in very weird circumstances that aren't entirely under your control. But when you lift it again, just tap lift and then jump off it. Otherwise, you will be stuck to the ball and you won't be happy, or whatever object you're trying to break contact from. You walk around these guys and you finish the section. Let's do that in fast mode. Almost set up for the other one. Half hover. Also, if you find yourself too far to the right, tap upright, and then instead of using up for the teleport direction, use upright, but still hold just a teeny bit after you press X. Boom. 30 seconds. Just a teeny bit. And that's telethrowing, and that's how you would use it in Crisis City. Section 1. There are more complex objects that you're going to have to teleport off of. I'm going to use, let me try and get to Section 3 real quick. I'll showcase the beginner strats for Section 2. Jump, Fireclaw. This is to go around a trigger that causes a bunch of lag on 360. Don't go normal. Jump, wait a bit, Fireclaw. Jump, Fireclaw. Sometimes that happens where you just pop up after a Fireclaw. Hold X to charge the Spinning Claw. Ideally, you want to hit that guy too. You do not have to play in Japanese, I just like the dub better. Now here. Now just there, right before I hit the dash panels, I held left. There is a small chance that you may miss them if you don't. So hold left. So when I hit this checkpoint, I'm holding X. So I can spinning claw through these enemies and take a little bit of a better line. Now to turn off spinning claw, you just press X again. Now here, it's a bit blind. But if you Fireclaw, just kind of in that general direction, you're either going to land on the bridge or hit this one up. Either way, you want to end up here. Jump, double jump. And the important thing here is you want something called breakout. Breakout, you can buffer things during loading screens. So, like inputs during loading screens. And this one will instantaneously switch you back to silver. There is an older strat that lets you skip silver and play as Blaze, and is easier than doing the last telethrow. But trust me, you just need to learn this one. It's so fast. And it gets you used to weird objects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the spring. And I'm going to hold X, which is the fireclaw attack, even though it won't do anything, until the screen freezes. And then I will release X. And then I will not touch the controller until until you switch to silver. So that happens is it buffers a fireclaw first frame of the next section. And you switch straight to silver. Now this is probably the hardest telethrow in Crisis City, but there's really no other way to do it. So this is going to take some practice. So what you're going to do is you're going to line up kind of like this. Tap jump. And then tap forward on the way down. Now notice you don't have that much space. So you want to make sure that you're not holding forward for that much after each telethrow. So what you're going to want to go straight forward. You're going to height cap. 1, 2, 3. 3 relatively quick ones. And then you wait. The reason you wait is to go under the trigger, which would spawn some cars that might hit you. You wait until about there. I don't really have a landmark for it. Then you tap up left. Just tap it. It kind of be like this, facing that goal ring. And then you telethrow again. You tap up left, but you telethrow up. Your facing direction will influence where you telethrow. And this is important to know, especially on telethrow pads where you have to kind of turn a corner, like this one. Lift, jump, congratulations. So if you miss breakout, I'm gonna hold X, still holding X, I'm gonna restart with A, and I'm gonna release X. While that pause menu disappears. I'm gonna do it one more time. Tap, tap forward. Wait until it reaches ceiling. 1, 2, 3. Tap up left. And then tap up. That was much better. If you overshoot, there's one of two things you can do. If I forgot breakout. This is what happens when you don't. You just press X when you press. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes that can happen, and that's fine. You hit this post, it's fine, just levitate over. Sometimes you undershoot, and there is a way you can save it. So, if you hold forward while falling into this part of the building, this is gonna extend into something that's like, I'm gonna have no gauge when I hit, because I've been lifting stuff. So you want to tap A and hold X. What holding X is going to do is going to kind of say to the game, okay, I'm not jumping per se. I'm charting a stun slap while in the air. So while you're not quote-unquote jumping, you will regain bar passively. As long as you hold the X button. You will regain meter while in the air. Now to get back up, you want to hover at that right corner. Yeah, you just hold right trigger and then you just jump. Yeah, yeah, same deal, unless it breaks, or you fly into the goal ring. Ideally, you want to fly into the goal ring, but it's more likely that it will break, or something rather. So let's. Yeah, it is a bit late over there. No. Silver needed resources. That should be at least a good idea on how to telephone.